Hello, darlings. How are you diddling? I want to talk today about doomsayers. The doomers. The ones who say, oh, it's only going to get worse. And I'll just give my opinion on them. I'll tell you all about it on the other side. So if you've been following this channel for a while, about 5 years ago, I started this channel when the emissaries got in touch with me and I started giving a message of great hope. Their message, not mine, their message. Although I've got to say that I am an eternal optimist, okay? But I was given their message. Great awakening happening, everything's going beautifully and it's all going to happen. And then just as I started to give that message, just then the pandemic started. And so it was like, oof, great awakening, whatever. Now, when I look back, I realised that that was a fundamental part of the Great Awakening. It truly was. It was like, wow, that's exactly what we needed. As I said before in an earlier video, when people are happy, you know, fat and relaxed, they're not going to do anything. We've got to make people kind of uncomfortable for them to wake up. So that's what happened. However, I remember lots of people saying to me, I don't think so. Great awakening? No. Can't see it. What, everything's going to get better? No, definitely not. And especially when Biden got inaugurated, yeah. And it was like the last glimmer of hope that we had just disappeared, poof, into smoke. It was like, oh my God, 4 years of a man who can't string a sentence together. And look what happened. Holy cow. Holy cow. So I had a lot of people who were saying, Gordon, you're a little bit over optimistic. Egg it down a bit, you know, ease off on the everything's going to be fine. And I remember a conversation I had with somebody who said, you keep talking about the Great Awakening. I can't see it. It's not visible on my radar. I wish it were, but it's not. But I just kept giving the message because that's the message that I got, kept giving it. And would you believe that that very same person, not so long ago, said, you've been talking about the Great Awakening for ages. I couldn't see it. Now I can. Okay? And so it's kind of like the emissaries knew what they were talking about. They were just very early doors. Well, I suppose it's a bit like the story of all the prophets in the Bible. You know, the prophets in there, they're like Jonah and stuff like that. I don't know who it was that was talking about Sodom and Gomorrah, but they keep going and going, you've got to stop doing this. Otherwise, God is going to smite you. You're going to be smitten with smotheredness. And people go, yeah. I'm just in Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm just going to go and whatever, enjoy myself. And then after a while, it happens. I mean, Jonah, he was, because God changed his mind. That was the bummer with Jonah, wasn't it? That he's saying, God's going to smite you all bad people, and all went, really? Oh, we're very sorry. We'll change. And God went, okay, his heart softened. Yeah. And Jonah was really pissed off. He was pissed off. He was like, now I look like a twat. And now I look like, I've been saying this for yonks, and now you're going to let them off, and I look like a twat. And that's when he ran away, I think. I might be mixing stories up. And then he ran away. But he ran away, first of all, because he didn't want to do it. That was it. He didn't want to do it. He ran away, went on a boat. Then there was a storm that threw him off the boat because he was the jigs. The fish swallowed him, spewed him back out, and he went and said, oh, I'll do it then. I'll do it. And then God let them off. So Jonah was not a happy bunny. Not a happy bunny. Anyway, how did I get there? Yes. So quite often what happens is people say stuff, right? And then it's not visible for a while. And then it happens. Okay? Now there's one philosophy, which is if you say something is going to happen for long enough, it will. Like if you say the world's going to end and you keep saying that forever, ad infinitum, at some point the world might end. And you go, I told you so. Yeah, you'd be very old, of course. But, you know, we can't just say stuff until it happens. However, the emissaries were very adamant about what was happening. They were very clear about what was happening. And all I was doing was just telling their message. Okay? But not everybody was in agreement. Not everybody was in agreement. In fact, the other day, I have a chat with a lady called Rosa, who's from here in Spain, and we chat in Spanish for another channel. And she was saying, oh my God, Gordon, I did an interview with an astrologer here in Spain, and I'm rock bottom now because he was so pessimistic. He was so pessimistic, like everything's bad and everything's going to go to shit. She said, I just need to talk to you. You need to lift my spirits, which is what we did. But there's still people who were there. There's still people who were there. And I spoke to the emissaries about it, and I said, so what's going on with these people? I mean, an astrologer, loads of astrologers who are awakened are really positive about what's coming. He wasn't. And they said, well, all it is the people who are in that doom and gloom bit are just in their loss. They're in the loss process where they're sad and depressed and angry. And it's because they've realised what they've lost. You know, the innocence, that's what they've lost. We've all gone through the loss of innocence. They said, all you got to do is just give them time. They said the best way to deal with the doomsayers is just to let them talk about this stuff, right? Agree with all the facts, because quite often they've got loads of facts. Like loads of things that definitely go, yeah, I agree with that. But when they say, and that means we're all fucked, that's when you say, well, that's not my view on it. I actually think it's going to get better. And that's all. They said, don't try and, argue them out of it. Just tell them your stance and let them see that there is a possibility of being happy whilst being awake, because they don't feel that way. And it reminded me of the expression, which used to be, I'll believe it when I see it. And now it's, I'll see it when I believe it. Once you believe something, then you start seeing the proof. When you don't believe it, you're not given any proof. It's cognitive bias, cognitive dissonance. You're not going to get any information if you don't believe it. Your mind's going to go, no, you don't like that, I'll not give you that. But there's a big, massive piece of evidence, I'm not going to give you that. No, you're not going to have it. You're not going to see it because you don't believe it. And so they went on to say, look, going forward, there's going to be lots of things that appear to be very, very bad. But they said they're not for you, the awakened. These things that appear to be very bad are not for you. They are specifically designed to help the people who are in the process of waking up to wake the fuck up a bit quicker. That's it. That's what they didn't say that. I'm saying that, but that was the idea. The idea of what's happening is just to wake people up. And all of the stuff that appears to be bad is just to get them to wake up. That's all. Just like the COVID stuff. It was just, it was a big jolt to wake people up. And there are lots more big jolts coming. But we haven't got to take them personally. Just understand, when you see something and you just say to yourself, oh, well, that's not for me. That message is not for me. That's to wake people up. That's it. And then it's easy to handle, isn't it? Because lots of good things are coming. Lots of good things are happening now. But at the same time, lots of bad things are happening. Remember they said the fall of the baddies is going to be very noisy. So we're going to see that. So buckle up, prepare yourself, and don't spend too much time trying to convince the doomsayers that all is well. They'll find out later on. Because they don't want to be stuck there for too long, because it's awful. I love you all, and I'll speak to you all later.